Okay. Yeah, just thank you all. Really grateful to be here and just to be talking to everyone because I've seen so many spotlights and reviewed them, and it's just so inspiring. I'm going to talk a little. I'll tell you a little bit about myself, my background. My name's Anita Johnson, and I teach a financial um, app, a beautiful budget, and it's called YNAB, and short for You Need a Budget. So why don't we get this out of the way? What is the most, the horrible things you think about when you think of a budget? I mean, it's kind of a, a word that is just people just kind of freak out when you hear it. So that's why I call it a beautiful budget, because I want to make it beautiful and fun um, so, yeah, maybe if you just write in the chat what any type of cons that you have or think about when you think of a budget. I'd love to share just briefly why I chose this particular app, YNAB, why I'm still using it, and why I choose to teach it to others. And then just finally a few things about evaluating why and if this tool is right for you. And I'll have an offer uh, afterwards. So hopefully, I will inspire you to look at your numbers. And throughout this presentation, I may refer to them as numbers, not a budget or money, because money is kind of and budget is kind of personally triggering a lot of time. But numbers, they are they're not personal. Um, they're impersonal, they're facts, they're neutral, and they just kinda help take the emotional sting out of money. It's something that I can be in charge of and not them in charge of me, not money in charge of my life. And I want to borrow from George's term TLC and just treat it with the tender loving care and treat myself and have self-care first, in terms of the money. Um, Sometimes I feel short of where I want to be envisioned to be, but I am also thankful I'm not where I used to be. And I have been using a budget for, probably about 25 years. I didn't always have a budget. I As a little kid, I would sell seeds and different things, and I didn't know how to manage my money, and it just I couldn't figure out how to do it, and I didn't. I learned from the bank teller how to, um, manage or balance my checkbook in college, but then after that, I had debt from college, and I wasn't introduced to a budget until someone at a church that I went to, a couple, they were teaching, and they sat down with me and helped me build a budget on paper. And it doesn't matter what kind of budget, whether it's on paper, pencil or paper, whether it's electronic, whether it's a spreadsheet, or whether it's an app like what I have, just to use something is better than nothing. And so I got started using a budget, but I found I I needed an app. So my background is I was a usability designer at Microsoft and AT&T. And I worked on a project called Microsoft Money, which is like the app YNAB, which is no longer there, but I was designing, and we would actually go into people's homes and see how they used it. And it's a lot of work to do the budget. I'm not going to lie, it's work. But what's the payback? That's the thing, when you do the work, do you get a payback? And that's what I wanted to share when I designed for money, to say, there's a payback, there's a huge payback. It's our money, it is our life, I know that I say, numbers, but it's attached to so many things, and we can have so many fears about it, and not having enough and not knowing where it at is, and how much are we going to have, and how much that impacts our family and our ability to pursue our dreams and everything. So it's a big deal. So I think it's worth it to put the time and energy into it if you know you can get um, payback. But what I found, and I've worked with anonymous groups for myself personally around money. I've done the what is that? What's the guy who does the getting out of debt? Dave Ramsey. All these people. I've done them all, and I've worked on my I've done it with paper, I've done it with a spreadsheet. My mind, I have a degree in art and design, and I've been designing, so I have more of a creative mind. I also have kind of an ADD mind, ADHD, which I didn't know, but I can see that affects how I see money. And so for some people who it's pretty easy, just go to a spreadsheet, just do this, just save your money, just, have enough for so many months. Well, that doesn't work totally for my mind. And I found for a lot of people's minds, and having to design for people are more visual. It's better to err on the design of the visual person than the person who is linear, who can sort of understand spreadsheets. The majority of people who can understand spreadsheets can often understand visual, but that's not, the reverse is not the case. So when we're designing, we always design based on, the visual mind, because everyone can understand pictures. So in this particular app, YNAB, I chose it because it's in between. It's in between. It's like it's based on a spreadsheet, but they put a wrapping around it for people who are visual, who the design can help them see it, can help me see it. And I found that I would use it if it was on the computer and on my phone. And if it could be used on every device so that it was convenient. And I lose papers, I have the time issue and the cluttering issue. So I need a app that would organize it and allow me to be able to see and understand. And that's what I found with my clients.
And
I
yeah,
for
just a 5 minute, yeah,
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
5 minutes left total.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So anyway, so the app allowed me to see the vision. So for when I wanted to buy my house for cash and I didn't have a lot and I wanted to move from Washington to Michigan, knowing what I had and how much I had helped me deal with other people because they were numbers. This is what I have, and I knew it. And then it happened, and it's kind of a partnership to me with the app and with the universe, God, whoever you want to call, so you can work back and forth. So I kind of want to, I didn't share my screen. Um, so there's this kind of, I'm gonna borrow this TLC from George and say it is a TLC. And so I call it the beautiful budget. And I found I needed support and people to be around. And I found that the people that I work with who might be visual, who also do not get what budgeting, is, or their brain, they get money, but the brain sometimes doesn't, an ADD mind may not totally be able to wrap their mind around all the pieces. And that's what the app does. It allows the person to do that. And it's so much fun to see people see it and get it and start to reach their goals and go, wow, a woman last week, she said, I'm seeing that someone was charging me 3 times as much every month and I didn't know it until for a year. And she called, asked them to stop, and they did, and they refunded all her money. It's just like seeing things clearly. Anyway, I think that's the time I actually want to stop and see. So if you're the type of person who a spreadsheet makes your eyes just kind of go back and forth. Um, if you're the type of person who is more of a visual oriented, YNAB might be good for you. Or it's hard for you to stay focused and concentrate on the numbers. And if you don't want to rely on your memory or your brain, then YNAB is helpful because it keeps it there for you. It becomes helps become your brain, like your calendar or like other tools. So I'm going to stop, and any questions that people have, I would love to take.
Getting some wonderful chats in,
Okay.
which of course you'll have the full chat log later to look at.
Okay.
Um, I don't see any questions yet,
Okay.
but maybe you could tell us what your offer is.
Okay. Yeah. My offer is that YNAB, that you could utilize YNAB for like 34 days they have free. I have a link, or actually, I'm going to need to give you my email address. It's toinspireyou.com and Anita at toinspireyou.com. And if you sign up for YNAB and want to try it out through that link, I will give you an hour consultation to help you get started and get you started on the right track. Also, for people who maybe use a different program or use something else, that's fine. Another thing that I'm doing is I call this budgeting B. And the B, budgeting B will help you just, it's kind of like focus mate for finances, just an energy there where you can do your finances and work on them, and you do whatever you want during that time. And you could get an invitation to participate in that. So that
Right. And
that would be
Anita,
my
go
offer.
ahead and is there a link for your
Yes.
YNAB,
Yeah. Let me
or
give you
email
my.
address or
Yep.
something?
I
Yeah.
didn't. Everyone. That's my email address, and then
Okay, so yeah,
go
there's the email
to.
address, Anita at the number two inspire the letter u.com.
Yep.
So yeah,
And then beautifulbudgetb.com for the budgeting.
beautifulbudgetb.com, BEE. Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So and so yeah, why not would be for someone who is uh who needs those details, get into the details, taken care of for you. All right. Is
Thank you,
anything
Anita.
else? Yeah.
That's all.
Time. All right.
That's
Thank
all we
you.
have. You can go and stop your screen share and the
Oh,
recording.
okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh my gosh. Yes.